Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Injustice 2. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that I've been kind of thinking of lately. I also saw some discussions about it online, and that is the online systems of Injustice 2, especially player matches, and how I think gear is ruining player matches right now. Now, first of all, before we go any further, this is just my opinion. If you like playing with gear, you like player matches in Injustice 2, that's completely fine. Go ahead and play them. But for someone who has enjoyed player matches a lot, basically the only mode I played in MKXL was player matches. Going into Injustice 2 has been a huge disappointment. I think including the gear by default and forcing the players to both agree on turning it off has been a huge mistake on NRS's part. Because basically, I've been restricted to ranked matches only in the game. First of all, just to clarify, ranked matches have always been kind of fucked up in NRS games. I don't know why NRS still insists on this, but the fact that ranked matches are one and done, I think really hurts them. There is no chance of rematching, no chance of playing long sets against people, because I've played people online where in ranked matches where the game was really fun and I was like, holy shit, I want to play this guy more, and I can't because it's one and done, and I have to go and send them an invitation and all that shit. With player matches, you just go hit rematch and play until you want. The second problem is, and I think we've all experienced this, ranked matches have a tendency to catch you off guard. You have a player who's using some stupid tactic that shouldn't work but does work, or they're using an obscure character, you don't know the matchup, and you get destroyed, and you're like, well, if I could play this guy again, maybe I could adapt, and maybe I could learn this matchup or learn how to fight this character. You have no options. You pretty much have to rely on the ranked system matching you up against that person again to get your chance. And it's really bad because, since I'm quote unquote locked out of player matches, I don't know how to fight a lot of characters. I've fought a couple of Sub-Zeros, I've fought a couple of Red Hoods. I still don't know how to fight Red Hood because I've never gotten the chance to play against one person who's a good Red Hood consistently and try to figure out what to do. Now, going back to player matches, again, we knew that gear was going to be a thing in Injustice 2, and even when this system was announced, I was sort of worried. I was like, how are they going to handle this? But back then, NRS said that they were going to have options or modes for people who don't want to play with gear and options for those who do want to. And I was like, okay, that's going to be good. There's going to be like a gearless option I can still play. What I didn't know is, again, this was going to be reliant on both players agreeing to turning it off or just playing ranked matches. I think the whole gear system, to be honest, does come from NRS trying to reduce the skill gap in Injustice 2. And I don't want to sound like a fighting game elitist, because I'm certainly not one. However, unfortunately, the nature of fighting games work like if your opponent is better than you, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Now, the problem with that is that this doesn't really gel with the casual audience who picked up Injustice because Injustice sold very well. Of course, it's a DC game, of course it's going to be popular. NRS wants to retain more players because the more players they retain, the more DLC is going to be bought, the more kind of the game is going to stay afloat. So what do? They reduce the skill gap, especially in player matches where if you have good gear and a high level character, you can literally beat an opponent who's 5 or 6 times better than you if they're using a character who's only like level 5 with level 4 or 5 gear. It's stupid. It's basically like fighting a boss character. I think the footage in the background kind of demonstrates this. It's me fighting a level 20 Black Adam with my level 6 Firestorm, who I just kind of wanted to try out, wanted to play online with him a bit. And this is what happens. I literally deal no damage. And I think that's really stupid because you're outplaying your opponent and you have no reward for learning the game and understanding the game better than your opponent because they take no damage and every single touch takes like a third of your HP. Now again, it's fine if you're using level 20 gear and both using level 20 characters. However, I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of player who likes trying out many characters. My main is Captain Cold. I got him at level 20. I have good gear for him. However, I want to try out Superman. Sometimes, like in this video, I want to try out Firestorm. And basically, I don't have this option because I either have to use Source Crystals, which I don't want to use real money for this to level up a character, or I have to grind for gear and levels in multiverse, which I don't want to always do. And I know there's a way to automate it, but I don't want to like have my PS4 on for 4 hours while the AI does like grinding for me. I don't want to do that. Um, so what happens? I basically have to take any new character I try out in ranked matches, and with ranked comes the other problem that I have no chance to adapt. If I'm using a new character and I'm fighting just new opponents over and over again, I have no chance to figure out what I'm supposed to do against, for example, the Joker if I'm playing as Firestorm. And then I can't figure it out in player matches either, because then I'm gonna fight a level 20 Joker where I stand no chance. Again, I think the whole system works on NRS trying to reduce the skill gap, and I think in the long run it is gonna hurt the game. And then again, you have gear abilities which are completely broken. Green Arrow has this stupid smoke arrow which people have shown you can just like loop your opponent with over and over until you have meter. It's basically an infinite until you have meter. And it's the type of stuff that NRS is never going to balance, because in terms of competitive play, it has no bearing because competitive mode doesn't use gear. So I think there are some things that could be done to fix this. First things first, I think ranked matches need to be at least best out of 3. So 2 matches, depending on 2 or 3 matches. NRS is unlikely to do this. I think if they haven't changed for 3 or 4 games, they're not going to do it now. I think ranked matches are going to stay this way, and we'll just have to deal with this. However, what I think might happen, I don't know, I'm hoping on this might, is that NRS might eventually introduce competitive player matches option, where you can just go in, you can find opponents, you can play against them with the cosmetics of the gear, but not the abilities like in ranked matches. That would really help, because I think that would bring me back to Injustice, and I feel like I can improve more that way, I play more that way, and even though it might split the community, I think if they introduce it later, it's really gonna help, because no matter what they do, players are eventually gonna drop off. And I think introducing this mode later on will really help in bringing like the people who want to play and want to learn the game more seriously together, and just kind of matching them and have them play. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm really hoping, because right now, as much as I love the game, I don't enjoy playing it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to talk about. Like, I want to play the game, but I don't enjoy playing it. And that was never the case with MKX. So I don't know. I really hope they change this. They really will add competitive player matches. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's definitely not gonna happen for a while. Until then, basically, I think in terms of Injustice 2, I'm gonna be sticking to kind of these type of videos and tutorials and lab videos more than actually playing online. We'll see. I don't know. Anyways, I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Again, if you have a different opinion, feel free to talk about it in the comments. I always, encourage open discussion, even on like the Swamp Thing and the Red Hood videos. I saw some people who made fair points, and on Red Hood especially, I kind of softened up to him a little bit. I kind of like Red Hood a little bit more, mainly because people were like, you should check this out and you should check that out. So again, feel free to have a discussion. And again, this is just my opinion. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, because there is gonna be more Injustice 2 content. But for now, thanks for watching and goodbye.